How's it going, everyone? So today we're going to be cleaning up the plenum on the car, getting it ready for paint. Going to paint it with that cast aluminium colour to tidy it up. That's what it looks like at the moment. Looks pretty average, and then even on the underneath, obviously it used to be black. So I'm going to use some paint stripper, and I'll strip that off and then prep it ready for paint. And then also this part here, disassemble it all and get that ready to be painted. Just give it a general clean up because it looks pretty average and it'll look a lot neater in the engine bay. It's all tidy. So I've got some like snap lock lunch bags and ice cream containers. So I'm going to take plenty of photos of the plenum, well, both parts, and then so I know where it all goes, so I know how it all goes back together and what goes where, and then just clearly label that. I just find it helps when it comes to put it back together. You're not just left with a whole lot of nuts and bolts that you don't know where they go. Sweet, so I'm going to disassemble it now and then give it a good clean and then get ready for paint. So it's pretty much sort of stripped all the stuffs off it. So now I'm just going to use some paint stripper to strip that off. You'll need some latex gloves and a paintbrush normally works best. And I'll just paint it all on, probably a couple coats, and then it should just get rid of the worst of it. And then I'll use some wax and grease remover and give it a bit of a good clean, and then it should be ready for paint. So as you can see, it starts to all bubble and flake off. So then you can just go along and take like a flat nose screwdriver or a scraper or something, and it should just you can see it comes off pretty easily. So I just go over that. I'll just go over that once, get as much paint as I can off, and then clean it. And then if there's any part I missed, I'll just go over it again with the paint stripper, and then you just got to repeat that process till you get all the paint off. My camera battery died when I was doing the cleaning of the plenum, but so this is where we're at. So I stripped the paint off the bottom of the plenum, and then I just used mineral terps with a Scotch Brite pad and just gave it a real good scrub to get rid of any dirt or grease on there. And same with this part here. So get that all pretty clean, looking pretty good. So now I will use the wax and grease remover and just get that over so there's nothing going to affect the paint. And I got some of this engine enamel paint, so got the primer there, and then I'm going to do it in this light grey colour, so it looks like factory finish pretty much. So now I'm just going to mask. I've got some duct tape and paint masking tape. On the plenum I'll paint the whole thing, but on this part I'm just going to paint probably this top part and just mask, and maybe this this part here, because those are the only parts that are really going to be seen, and I don't really want paint getting in all the injector slots. So yeah, we'll mask that up and then get ready to paint it. Alright, so I've got them all masked up and cleaned up and ready for paint. So first we're just going to hit them with this engine enamel primer, and then we're going to go with the it's like a factory look silver finish. So we'll do 1 coat of primer and then 2 coats of top coat. Sweet. Alright, so got them all pretty much primed up. I want to flip that one over later once it's dry and do the other side, because I can only really do it one side at a time. And then probably same with the Plenum, just flip it over once it's dried up to see if I've missed any spots. So they're all primed up now. So now I'm just going to hit them with it's like a silver factory colour, and we'll see how it turns out. Right, so I've also decided to do the rocket covers, paint them at the same time. So I've just cleaned them up. I just mixed up some mineral turpentine and dishwashing liquid in a ice cream container, and then just use a Scotch Brite pad and a toothbrush to get into any of the hard places that you couldn't get in with the Scotch Brite pad. It acts as a degreaser when you mix them together, and it works quite well. So now I'm just going to use some wax and grease remover and just clean up any leftover wax or grease or dirt that's on them, and then I'll prime them up and mask them up, or mask them up then prime them up ready for paint. So I'm going to be painting them just a gloss black, because the previous owner or someone who owned it stripped them all back, but polishing them up's quite a mission and expensive, so I thought I'd just paint them black. So sweet, we'll get into that now. Alright, so the rocket covers and coil cover are all primed up, ready for some colour. The Plenum turned out pretty good, looks pretty factory finish. And I also have already done the front cover, as I just wanted to see what it looked like in black, and it looks pretty sweet. So yeah, we'll hit up the rocket covers with some black. See there with some black on them. It's just 1 coat. I actually ran out of paint, so I'll have to grab some more another day, as it's going to be dark in about an hour. So I put the final coat on the rocket covers, coil cover and front cam cover, and I also just decided to spray sort of like the front water neck on this, and then I'll just hit it with that aluminium or like factory colour to make it just look a little bit nicer. So yeah, we'll once these are dry, we can look at taking all the mask tape off and reinstalling them on the head. Right, so now that the plenum is all painted up and looking way better than it was, I've put the sensor back in at the front there and just put the bolts in on the bottom. I just had some photos that I'd taken on my phone so that I could remember where everything goes. Alright, so I've got it all back together now. Looking really good. Came up super nice. As you would have seen earlier, it was really just dirty and filthy, and the main plenum part, all the paint was flaking off, so yeah, it should tidy up the engine bay quite nicely.